Hi everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 most popular cards in Legacy. These are the cards that are the most played across all of the Legacy formats. Some of them make a lot of sense. Some may surprise you, but they mostly just make a lot of sense. Like, Legacy's pretty established. Number 5 is Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is a 1-mana sorcery. It says target player reveals their hand. You choose an online card from it. That player discards that card. You lose 2 life. Thoughtseize, it makes sense that it is extremely popular in Legacy because every single card in Legacy is so powerful. Being able to take one of those cards away from your opponent, especially one that you get to select, to kind of make it so you get to decide what the course of the game is going to look like and kind of craft what your opponent is going to do by taking away a card that is important, is obviously very powerful in such a potent format. Thoughtseize is played in 46% of decks, and the average number played is 3.4. The 4th most popular card in Legacy is Force of Negation. Force of Negation is a 3-mana instant. If it's not your turn, you may exile a blue card from your hand rather than play the spell's mana cost. Counter target non-creature spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Force of Negation is a sort of must-play in the blue decks, either main deck or mostly sideboard, for combo decks. It's important to have as many cards, especially counter spells, so you can fight on the stack against decks that are attempting to combo and just kill you. And being able to do that with a spell that you don't have to spend mana on is excellent. Force of Negation is played in 53% of decks, and the average number played is 1.9. The 3rd most popular card in Legacy is Ponder. Ponder is a 1-mana sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle, draw a card. This card, or cantrips are extremely powerful in Legacy because, like, the idea of filling your deck with powerful cards are very specific synergies, and then being able to very cheaply and very easily find those very powerful cards is obviously great. Also, being able to churn through your deck in a way that isn't just draw a card, right? You get to select the top 3. If you don't like any of those top 3, you can just shuffle and get a random card, which is excellent. And being able to decide what the top few are in Legacy are actually even more powerful because say you want one of those 3 cards, you can Ponder, get that card off the top, and then play something like a fetch land that shuffles your deck and shuffle those other 2 cards away. And same thing if you want 2 of the cards and not the 3rd. So it's much more powerful than it is on the surface, and exactly what you want to be doing, again, in such a potent format. It's played in 57% of decks, and the average number played is 3.9. The 2nd most played card in Legacy is Brainstorm. Brainstorm is a 1-mana instant that says draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Now, alongside fetch lands and other shuffle effects, this effectively says draw 3 cards for 1 mana at instant speed. How most of the time you're going to see Brainstorm is casting Brainstorm, drawing 3 cards, putting 2 of the worst cards from your hand on top of your deck, and then playing a fetch land and shuffling those 2 cards away. So you get to keep, so you see 3 new cards and get rid of your 2 worse, and that's great, and you don't have to see them again. It's also a way to hide cards from your opponent when they Thoughtseize you. Say you have 2 very powerful cards in your hand or 1 very powerful card in your hand. In response to Thoughtseize, you can Brainstorm and put those cards on top of your deck so that when you reveal your hand to Thoughtseize, they don't see what they want to take, and then you can just, like, magically draw it off the top of your deck. There are some downsides of this. If you have no way to shuffle, you can get what's called Brainstorm locked, where you draw 3 cards, you don't see what you want, there's no shuffle effects, you put 2 bad cards on top of your deck, and then you have to draw through those 2 cards to get to new cards, and that can be really, really rough. But Brainstorm is very, very good. Brainstorm is played in 58% of decks, and the average number played is 4, like the full play set. And then the most popular card in Legacy is Force of Will. Force of Will is a 5-mana instant. You may pay 1 life and exile a blue card from your hand rather than play the spell's mana cost, counter target spell. So similarly to Force of Negation, there's some sort of separate cost. We have to pay a life as well, but in exchange for that life, we can do it during any turn. It's not just our opponent's turns, and it's counter target spell. It doesn't exile, sure, but we're playing it for similar reasons. We can protect our own combo and our own cards with Force of Will. Also, it can stop combo decks game 1 because this card is very good even in game 1. It can stop your opponent's big haymaker. It doesn't matter what Force of Will counters, it can deal with it. But it has similar downsides as Force of Negation. You 2-for-1 yourself by doing this, but it means you can tap out and still be able to counter your opponent's stuff, so it's often worth it. Force of Will is played in 63% of decks, and the average number played 8 is 4. But those are the top 5 most popular cards in Legacy. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.